Hey guys, welcome to an all-new Game Trailers TV. I'm Jeff Keighley up here in Seattle at Valve to take you inside the world of Portal 2, one of the most anticipated games that's coming out in 2011. And I'm here right now with Erik Wolpaw, who is writing this game. Erik, you wrote the first Portal. What is new in Portal 2?
You're still at Aperture Science, but you're exploring a whole bunch of new parts of Aperture Science. We've got new characters, new story line, and fully blown out co-op mode that's as big as the single player mode and also has a kind of story going to it. It's these two robots. You play, instead of being Chell, the human from the single player, you play these two robots.
Unnamed robots?
Unnamed at this point, unrevealed names of the robots.
A skinny turret, right?
There's a kind of one that's built out of a turret, and then there's one that's built out of one of the personality spheres, like Wheatley, who's a character in the single-player game.
Do they have voices?
They do not. They have, well, they have voices in the sense that they do make noises, but they don't have voices, and a lot of it's for the practical reason that co-op, especially in a sort of brain-teasing environment like Portal, requires a lot of communication.
It's kind of a little R2-D2 kind of thing?
Yeah, a little bit of beeps and boops and things like that, just to give them some personality. But really, we don't want anything kind of competing with the players talking to each other, because it's really a game about communicating with your partner.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Now you have these two characters. I know at PAX coming up in September, you guys are going to be talking a little bit more about the story, but tonight you're going to tell us a little bit of a preview of sort of what their journey is all about.
GLaDOS builds these two robots to try and cut humans out of the loop, because I mean, history's proven they're just trouble when it comes right down to it. Yeah, and not super bright. So the robots, she's putting them through these tests, and it's her, this kind of one robot, putting these other two robots through the tests. And she realizes that there's it's sort of a quantum mechanical Schrodinger's cat sort of thing going on, where you need a human observer for the test to actually mean anything. So she's kind of stuck, and she needs to find a way for these robots to become more human-like, to the point where they're human enough that these tests, that you can derive some results from the tests. So she sort of puts them through some training tests, and then sends them off into the bowels of Aperture, sort of on these archaeological digs to find human relics, to try and teach them all, how to love.
So you take these relics, and then would there be memories that would sort of explode out of picking up these relics?
That would be a good idea if that happened.
Exactly.
But things like that might happen. In ways you're trying to, they're going to puzzle over them and try and derive some information.
What I like about it is it's not just co-op through the same test chambers as the single player.
No. The thing is, the co-op experience is completely, just from a puzzle design standpoint, it's just different. Having 4 portals changes everything. None of the single player chambers would work in co-op, because one of the things about the co-op chambers is we're building them and testing them is, if somebody discovers a way to solve a chamber using just one set of portals, then the chamber's broken. It's kind of back to the drawing board on it.
Are you going to have an AI sort of co-op partner that you can play with, or it's got to be 2 humans?
No, it's 2 humans, and we thought about it, but in an action game that makes sense. In a puzzle game,
it'd be pretty hard to pull off that AI.
Well, or it actually would probably be pretty easy, but it wouldn't be super fun to have your AI partner running in and telling you how to solve the puzzles.
Now that's the co-op campaign. Let's talk a bit more about the sort of single-player experience. Because Portal 1 was a smaller game. I mean, this obviously is a full-fledged product, right? You got the full single-player campaign and the full co-op campaign. Yeah,
the single-player campaign's a little bit more than twice as long as the single-player campaign in Portal 1, and then the co-op campaign is that length again.
And there's a whole new feature in Portal 2, which you haven't talked about, which is the gels.
There's a whole bunch of new puzzle elements. One of them, the one you're mentioning, is gel, which is this sort of liquid, it's a gel that has these properties.
That's what a gel is.
Different ones have, is a gel actually liquid? I guess it is liquid.
It's a good question.
Yeah, it's not a solid. But
not a solid.
So, for instance, there's a propulsion gel, which you can put it down on a surface and it'll make you go faster across the surface.
Slide right down,
there's a bounce gel, which you put it down on a surface and it'll let you kind of bounce around on it. And also, you can coat other objects like cubes or turrets with it, and the turrets will bounce around, or the cubes, anything you
and other undisclosed gels, I bet, right?
Yes.
So you got all these gels in the game, and you're going to use these obviously as modifiers in these test chambers.
Right. So between the gels, and there's some light bridges, which are these extendable
laser
bridges.
Right?
Yeah, like laser bridges. There's these sort of funnels that you can use to redirect through portals that things sort of float through them, so you can float things across things.
Redirect lasers, can't you?
You can redirect lasers. There's catapults.
Sounds awfully complicated, Eric. I mean, people are hearing this and they're like, Portal 1 was a brain twister. But I mean, it's like there's a lot to this, right?
Oh, we thought of that though.
Aha!
Yeah. So, I mean, Portal 1 was essentially one long training arc. I mean, that was the central design goal of Portal 1, was to take, because it's a fairly, until you experience it, you don't really notice how brain-bending the concept of portals is. Like solving spatial puzzles with the portals was actually
You're making
difficult.
gamers smarter.
Yeah. So Portal 1 trained you every step of the way, so that by the time you got to the end of the game, you were able to sort of understand what these puzzles were and gradually become better at this. And exact same design philosophy here. These elements are introduced.
So I'm not going to have all these gels in the first test chamber.
No. By the time you have the gels, you'll be fully prepared to use them.
What's exciting now is the companion cube going to be back?
Maybe. I mean, you
only going to give us a maybe? Come on.
Well, come on. If it did, it's spoilerish. I mean, you don't really want to know that.
You know it's going to be in there. You just don't know how it's going to be in there.
Oh, I might know how it's going to be in there. But yeah, it will probably be back in some way, shape, or form.
Gotta have it back. Gotta make more plushies, right?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
So a companion cube. There's also though these personality spheres, right?
Right. There's the personality
Wheatley,
spheres.
who we saw for the first
the big
time
one.
in E3, right?
Yeah. Wheatley is sort of the first character you meet.
Doesn't
in the game.
He awakens Chell, right, from the stasis?
He awakens Chell from the stasis, and the two of you are kind of trying to escape together, and then kind of one thing leads to another, and you end up...
He screws up and he awakens GLaDOS.
He awakens GLaDOS, and then GLaDOS kind of has you guys again.
Now, at Wheatley at E3, we heard him with a programmer's voice.
Actually, an animator's voice.
An animator's voice, I'm sorry, but a Valve employee
employee's voice.
And people online are petitioning, saying this voice is great, don't change it.
So we have Stephen Merchant, who is from Extras. He's Ricky Gervais's writing partner, and he was in The Office, the British Office.
That's a big upgrade.
It is exciting. I'm very excited, because we always kind of had his voice in our heads when we were writing it. And we just never thought to ask him, and so we asked him.
Now, is Wheatley with you for most of the game, or?
Well, there's some spoilers in there. He is with you for significant portions of the game. He's with you.
And there are other, you haven't talked about, but there are other personality spheres that you will meet.
Well, there are other personalities in the game, yes.
Excellent.
Whether they're spherical or some other shape. Yeah.
The squares.
Yeah, they might be.
You never know.
Squares with personalities.
The companion cube.
Yeah.
The voice number.
No, I can pretty much tell you that's not going to happen.
No?
No.
So we're inside Aperture Science. We are going through this adventure. GLaDOS is back, as we know. You've heard the audio clip where she's going to put our differences aside for science, you monster, right?
Yeah, she's not happy about the events of Portal 1. Okay. I mean, rightfully, more or less so, because not only did you destroy her, you destroyed the entire facility, which is sort of the centerpiece of her entire existence.
Right.
And it's her responsibility to build it again. And meanwhile, first thing she sees when she comes back to life is you kind of standing there sheepishly with this little robot sphere. So yeah, she's not happy. She's not happy.
She's trying to take you down again?
Well, she's gonna.
But does she need you to help rebuild?
Well, she needs you to test, if nothing else. And she's kind of bound by certain just rules of testing. As long as you're participating in the test, she can't actually just outright kill you. If you try and escape or something, then all bets are off.
I see, but if you follow her protocols.
If you're folling those, as much as she'd like to, she can't actually kill you.
Now, are we going to meet other humans in this game? Are there other humans in this world?
No, that's kind of an open question.
Okay.
Yeah.
We don't know.
Don't know at this point.
That could exist out there. Because you'd think that part of the reason that she has to keep around Chell is that it's the only human that can do these things.
Well, I mean, as far as GLaDOS knows, you're the only human.
Right.
So.
We'll just have to see.
Yeah, you will. I would say
that's part of the adventure of the game. Right?
Yes.
Exciting things. And Jonathan Coulton is coming back to do a new song, or at least contribute some kind of musical.
Yeah, music. Music was a big part of Portal 1. Continues to be a part of Portal 2. Jonathan will be back, and hopefully we'll have some other surprises in there.
A new song.
I would say yes.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Now, what is going to be the one thing, the line that people quote from Portal 2?
You don't even want to speculate on it.
You don't have that one that you're just saying around the office?
No.
You think this is the one?
No.
No?
No.
The cake won't be back, though, I hear, right?
No.
The cake is gone?
Cake's gone. I think that one ran its course.
Okay.
I think we're all pretty happy with how,
There's a lot
let
of
it
pressure,
go
though, to
with
come up
some
with that new
dignity.
line.
Is there?
Yeah, don't you feel it?
No. No, I mean, I don't, yeah, that would be a nightmare if it was, if that was actually the job. Doing a good job, and if people like certain things, they'll latch onto it. Otherwise, they'll have a good experience, even if they don't take away some line that they can say over and over and over again. Oh, there's a whole bunch of good stuff in there. A lot of stuff to pick from, I think.
Tease the viewers. What should they be looking forward to, Wolpaw?
Wait, looking for where?
What should they be looking forward to is some of that great stuff.
I can't quote the gift. Come on.
You can't have that one line. You just wrote on a little Post-it note by your desk. You're like, I love this line.
Do I have that line? I don't want to poison the well by giving out the line, because that's definitely not going to be the line then.
Right.
Like if I'm telling you, I think that's the line.
Right. Online, a lot of people were speculating about Cave Johnson, the sort of, I guess the creator of Aperture,
He's sort of the founder, CEO of Aperture.
Right.
And he was there. He may still be there, but he's definitely a presence that's sort of felt throughout Aperture.
And he's a human?
Well, he was at one time.
I see.
Yeah. I mean, it's significantly farther in the future, though. So, he's probably just dust at this point.
You never know.
You
Maybe
don't know.
he's the G-Man.
He might be. That's actually not a bad idea.
Never know.
Instead of Gordon from the future, which is what he is now, by the way.
Really?
No.
Keep it quiet, right?
Yeah, he's not.
Sent the fans into a rage. Gordon from the future.
Yeah.
Time-traveling Gordon?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's totally what he is.
It's amazing. You spoiled it all for the fans,
He's
right?
Gordon from the future.